Hello, good evening. Today is day 6, and we're going to go over data storage types, right? So we've gone over, basically setting up Python on our system, what kinds of variables there are, how to create them, and in between those variables, what kind of operations happen, control flow statements, and we've gone over function structure as well in the last session that we had. And today we're just going to talk about, inside those functions, you have variables and you have operations, those variables, how they behave with each other. You have control for flow for programs, but really what happens when we have massive amounts of data coming into our applications in production. That's what the main goal of today's topic is for us. See, there's a clock that I can start. Well, that doesn't help. Let's do something. Let's do 30 minutes. Here we go. Cancel. Trying to run it now. Well, never mind. I'm going to play with this later. Just keep an eye on the time. It's 5:50. We're going to go 30 minutes. So what we're going to do today is basically how we're going to deal with these massive types of data. Right. So we're going to do data storage. Data stores. This is an interesting and important topic in Python because data storage, it's a big deal, right? Some say that Python was invented because of the amount of data that started to come into the Python 3. No, not Python originally, Python invented, but Python 3's version is very good at managing data, right? So when you have massive amounts of data coming in, leveraging Python is a really good idea, right? So data stores are also called collections, right? All right. So let's create a file. For today. Right. We'll basically look at lists to start off with. Like, so your question would be like, what is a list, right? Simply, it is a storage of data, it can be anything. It can be named. It can be random variables, strings, data types. Basically, everything that we covered, we can put into a list, right? So let's say this is a basic list, but if you look at day 1, we also looked at integers, right? I'm trying to put it underneath so that you can see it here. Right. All right. So let's go over here and let's call our one data _1 is equal to a list of stuff, right? So we can put a name in here, right? So let's put Judy in here. Then let's put a number in here. Then let's put a number with a decimal, right, which is a float. So we put an integer, we put a float, we put a string. We can put another list inside it of data. Hi, Munchkin.
Hi.
Okay, don't put your face in the stream, okay?
I know.
Okay, so what's going on? You doing your art?
Yeah.
You hanging out, huh?
Yeah, I went to the bathroom.
Okay. You could put a city name in there, like New York, right? You could put a zip code. Like that. You could put an alphanumeric, but it has to be data type, so it has to be in a string. If it's in a string, it's a data type. It was crying because you had it all funky, right? So you can go over here and you can print the data type. Like that, right? And let's close this. Let's yank this up here and let's run this really quick. Not displaying. Okay, took a second. Right. So now let's look at a nested list. But this is a list within a list, right? Let's look at how we need to access lists. So how do you access this data type, right? So let's do nested list access. Right. So let's create a variable 1, right? And let's go into data 1, right? And then let's give it let's see if we can get an index 0, right? And let's see if this works, right? It looks like it was giving me an error, but it went away. Even I was a little surprised. Okay. Huh. Why is it crying? I think that should do it. Okay. So we're gonna try and get variable 1, which is Judy. Right, we're gonna clear it. My God. I'm gonna hit Python day 6. Run day 6. There you go. Variable is Judy. Right. So the way to access it is by indexes. So the first position is Judy, but in Python, 1 starts at 0. So if you create, you know, second variable here, okay, Judy 0, then the number 645 is 1, 2, 3. Let's try 3. Okay, so let's look at this as LST, right? And then home. I have to look at the hot keyword. The hot key is to like create a new line and copy the line over. I'm sure VS Code has a shortcut. Put it in the chat if you know it. There you go. Okay, so it hit up list. Now if you want to look inside list, what's inside list, let's see if we can get it again. What's inside list? Okay, it says list has New York in it. That makes sense, right? The first part in index 0 of 30 is New York, right? If you give another one here, you should get an error because there's nothing inside it. The next number here at the same level can be 2, right? So you can the way to access 50480 is by accessing 1. Like that, not like that. So let's comment it. Let's get the error first really quick by running it. And I think, oh right, because it's a string, it's parsed it even more and has gone into that, right? So if you were to write a loop and say what's in this, right, if you want to get that out, you could go into like a REPL console and actually like run through that string and see what's going on with it, right? And that's why this works, why this list works instead of giving you an error. If you give another 0, then you'll get the error because it just gives you n and doesn't give you anything beyond that. It should. It's not erroring out. Yeah, it's just saying n. It's not really erroring out. It's just giving an issue, right? So if you backtrack, you don't know how far n is. So I don't know. They should error that out, I guess, but they're not. So we found something in Python that's not good behavior, right? Anyways, so we can hammer down into specifics, right? And if you want to go get the last one, which is this big alphanumeric string, we can get that too by changing the index over here. So that's how indexes and lists and nested lists work, right? So we looked at a nested list. Let's give this example that I worked on today. Let's look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? So you got a weekly menu, which is 0, 1, 2 index, right? So this is 0 index, this is 1, and this is 2, right? So what is it doing? Weekly menu 1 and 0. So it's going to print 1, which is sandwich, and then chips. You see that? So this should print out what's 1? We know that pasta and salad is 0, sandwich and chips is 1. So it's going to sandwich, and then 0 is chips. So it's going to print chips out, right? So let's see that. Tuesday's lunch is a sandwich. Why did it do sandwich? 0, 1, oh, the first. Okay, so if you want to get chips out, you're gonna have to do that right there. That'll make chips come out. Lunch is oh, sandwich. Never mind. What? How do you make chips come out, man? Okay. We're gonna go to the debug console and we're going to debug this and we're going to figure out how to get chips out of weekly salad. Okay. So let's go to debug console and let's look at weekly salad. Okay, so weekly menu, not weekly salad, right? Weekly menu. So this is your weekly menu, right? We want chips. So we go here and then we put a square and then we put an index, and the chips is nested inside 1. It's like 0, 1, right? There's sandwich and chips. And then if we go to chips, it's a list, so to have another index. So if you hit 1 over here, you should get chips. So it should say weekly chips 1, 1, and over here it says weekly chips 1, 0. So we just need to change this number to a 1, and we should be able to get out chips. There's how you debug programs. Right there. That was it. Run it, and you get chips. Okay, that was interesting. Let's do duly listed students, and I have that too. This should be cool. Okay, so we're gonna do one more list before we hop to tuples, right? And I'm kind of keeping track of time because you remember I was not able to figure out how to use the clock on the Windows machine, which was grand. So that's student, right? Student courses. So print student courses. Print student courses. Let's take the rest of the code that we have, put it here, and comment it, so we don't have any other printouts. Let's clear the console because it's noisy. Let's come down to the code that we're looking for. We're just looking to print this part out. Okay, there it is, right there. Student courses. Alice takes math and physics, Bob takes history and English, and Carol takes art and biology. So, like Bunchkin, gold medal in art. Huh? A+ in art, man. Yay! Show me the medal. Come here. Where's the medal?
It's in the car.
It's in, never mind. You don't need to go to the car to get it. No, you don't have to go get it. It's fine, baby. It's fine. Thank you. So again, next time. Tomorrow's stream, we're going to show you Munchkin's gold medal in art, and maybe her eye if she finishes it. We can kind of show it to you right now. Give me the eye.
Huh?
I'm going to show part of the eye, and then you're going to finish it, right?
Yeah, well,
Or you're going to not be able to finish it.
hmm.
9 years old. Go on.
Well, this is not my best one.
I know. Next one. You show me the best one tomorrow. We're going to show you the best one tomorrow.
Okay.
Be prepared for the bestest of the art for tomorrow. You know, from the 9-year-old. Prepare. Preparo. Okay, anyways. Student courses. These are the student courses. We're gonna print. Okay. So this should be fun. What we were already demonstrating earlier, but let's try and do that, right? Let's try and print Carol's first course. So print if I can type. What's Carol's first course? So let's go to student courses, we know that that's going to print all student courses, which you can see in the console highlighted. We want to go to the index. We want to go to 0, 1, 2. Carol is 2. And then her first course is art, which is 0. Index is 0. Right? Print it. There you go. I'm going to comment this. Save it. Run it. Carol's first course. It should say art, not Carol. Jesus Christ. Okay. Because it's nested. It's nested. So it has to be 0. There you go. Ooh, again. Why are we having this issue? Oh, it says C, which is her first letter. That's not good. After Carol. Let's debug it again. Debugger, here we come. Let's debug console. Here we go. Let's go to student courses. This is, oh, and then look at this thing on the left. I don't know if you guys see this. Can you see my screen? See my screen? Yes. You see all this stuff right here? This is the jazz. The students' courses right here. Alice, Bob, and Carol. And guess at what? At index 2, we have Carol. 0, 1 is art. Right? So 0, okay, 2, 0, and 1. You can see it right there, except you can't see it because of my chat stream. Can you? I'm moving the chat stream. Can you guys see it now? No. I should not be doing this on the fly, but whatever. I'm gonna move it down here. I'm gonna make it small. Okay. Alright. So if you're wondering what that was. Okay, so look at this. 2, and we went into student courses 0, 1, 2. We went into student courses 2. Then 0 is Carol, which is Carol. And then 1 is art. So debug, that 1 should be art. Right? So we stop the debugger and we just run it. We're gonna get the output now. Unless there's an error. Carol's first course is art. Not man. Yet again. Student, Carol, art. Art is a list. So how do you get to this? Let's go to the debug console and find out. Let's go to student courses. Student courses. Let's just get all the student courses out first, right? And then let's go to student courses. We're going to Carol, which is 2. That's Carol. And then Carol has 2 pieces in there, and that is, we can't. Why can't you find out what she has? Okay, so call this variable. So home var is equal to this, type var it's a list. The way you get through lists is through index. So type in var, what do you get? Carol, list, right? So if you go to var bracket 2, you get nothing because it's out of index. 1 should list you art and biology, right? So what is var? Var bracket 1 art and biology, and we want art, which is bracket 1. So look at that, biology. Okay, so the way it goes is student courses 2, right? We know that, so we're gonna paste that because that's var, and then we're gonna go bracket 1, and then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna go bracket 1, index 111, right? So 211 is what it said, not 201. So if you look up at the code over here, it says 201. And what we're seeing here is that 211 gives you biology. So that's what it should say. So if you switch this to 211, you're gonna see a biology output. Carol's first course is biology. It should say art. So 211, you switch it to 0, and it'll give you Carol's first course, which is art. Yippee. All right, nested lists, data types. You know, just goes to show that even after 10 years of doing this stuff, it just always has. There's always more to learn, basically, right? And in the basics, right? So there's always more to learn with the basics. Let's comment out this stuff right here, so we can work on tuples now. So we're going to do tuples now. What are tuples? Right, tuples are inside the regular brackets. The lists are in square brackets. The tuples are in brackets, and the dictionaries are in curly brackets, and they all use hash maps under the hood. That means the variables, like we were seeing, the C's and the A's and the single stuff, all that stuff has ASCII values that can be assigned to it to give it a indexed hash map, and you can access that with the indices. Index and indices. Sure, that's fun. Let's do some coordinates over here. Do some coordinates. Let's print these coordinates. Completely dead. It's hung. Why is this hung? Why is the debug console still up when this has all been shut down? Python debugger, put away. Okay, sorry about that. Took a second. Had to restart. Anyways, these are our coordinates that we have listed over here, right? So I want to say you access it the same way, but I don't want to. Let's see. I want to say it's by index as well, and I have a sneaky suspicion it is. Yeah. So this runs exactly how the list that we covered here. So this logic right here on how to deal with a list is exactly the same kind of logic we would use for tuple, except so if you just took these square braces, right, and you went into a new file, right? So you go into a new file. Let's do this really quick. Let's go to day 7, right? Which is just, I mean, it's not anything, but we're gonna take this anyways. We're gonna go play over here for a second. Let's take this. Let's go over here. Let's go paste it over here. Let's go here again. Okay, but let's just mess with this stuff for a second. Let's blow these away. Let's save this. Let's take this first and replace this with something like that. All 7 of them. Right? Then let's take this and then replace this with this. Boom, done. Right? So this is the new student courses. The way to print it is the same indexing system. So that's interesting, right? But it's immutable. The immutability is that you can't change them or append them. So the append logic on them can't be used. In tuples and sets. How much?
You can click on this if you want.
How can you tell that this function worked, right? This class worked. First off, you can see the file name right here. They gave you the same output, and then all these brackets are circular, right? Immutability means that you can't run the append on it. So I think if we run the debugger and we go to the debug console really quick, we go to student courses over here. There's no append. See, you can't do this append to it because of the data type, right? Similarly, if you go over here and you put the debugger here, and you stop it, debug here, and then debug this file. Here, if you go into the debug console and you type in student courses, right, these, you can go here and you can hit all. You see how append shows up? That's because of the data type, right? So I can type in, I can tab it, and I can literally give a new list item in here, right? So I can be like, I can give two, so student courses got appended by the Ranger and Rick, right? So I can go back to student course and print it now, and you see Ranger Rick is in the end. That's different from what it was earlier. Earlier it had a length of how many items in it? Right? Now it's got all these items in it. It didn't have all this stuff in it in the beginning. Right? It's just showing it here because it's dynamically getting updated to what it is now. The student courses, right? But if it had a variable earlier assigned to it, that variable in the console would have that earlier value. Okay. Anyways, let's stop our debugger. We're gonna go here. So coordinates tuples are basically like tuples are very similar, right? Give you another tuple example. So you got these points right here. Print points, nested tuple, it just prints this whole thing, right? And then what's the output over here going to be? Think about it. So points is this whole thing. 1 is the second one, 3 and 4. And then 0 is 3. So the output's going to be 3. Second point on x value is, second point is 4. Second point on x value. Second point. I don't know. I think it's 3. But then again, you never know. You never know. Okay. The debugger is on. Is the debugger on? No. So Python day 6. Second value is 3. The second point x value is 3. See? Because that makes sense, right? That on the second point, x value is like the second value. It's saying 0, which is the first value, which is 3. So I guess it's x, y coordinates. Okay, if these are coordinates, well, on top it says there were floats in the first n35. So I didn't think they were coordinates, but I guess they're whole number integer coordinates, right? That's why you have that there. Okay, cool. Let's move on. So we've covered lists, right? And we've covered tuples. Let's look at dictionaries. All right, again, so let me go back and try and remind you why we're doing this. The reason we're doing this is because we want to be able to store large amounts of data, right? So a dictionary is a data set, right? Let's give you a simple username really quick. And let's print that user. Let's print it. Let's look at the dictionary, right, really quick. So let's go over here and say that the user jsmith at outlook.com. That's his email username. Print the dictionary user, right? So print the whole dictionary user. That's him right there. And if you notice, that's got curly braces on it. Curly, right? So now, if you take this whole thing, right, and you put it in another set of curly braces, it's nested, right? So if you run it again, it says, oh, there's too many, there's not enough, or whatever. One is here, and one is here. What's the problem? At the end of it, there's no comma, right? So, or not. have to give it a key. You can't just have two dictionaries nested in there, so it has to say dict1 and that, right? And then this has to be in quotations like that. So now it's nested, right? So you go here, give it enter, you go here, you give it an enter, this is your dictionary, right? And this is the curly bracket closing it. That's the structure of a nested dictionary. So now if you would give a comma and you give it 2, you can go dictionary 2 colon enter. You can give 2 of these and you give another comma, and then you can give username email test@gmail.com. This prints the entire dictionary out, right? Everything before it gets commented, saved, run, clear. Okay, so you have these 2 dictionaries right here, right? So how do you get them? Like how do you access them? So dictionary access is, I want to say it's by key. This is a key and this is a value, right? So there's a way to get to this. So you go so far we were using so right, get to the first dictionary. You see that right there? That print right there? That's what I'm talking about. So that puts the first one. So instead of so you'll get the whole dictionary, and then you'll get the pieces underneath it that are relevant, right? How to access each one is like that, right? And then if you want to get inside one of them and you want to get the username, right? So you can get like this, right? J. Smith, right? The first dictionary's username is that right there, okay? Nested dictionary. Let's do another nested dictionary. Let's look at this one. Okay, name, contact, skills, right? That's your employee, right? So again, employee, so you do employee, and then you do what? So it gives you an option, contact name or skills. These modern IDEs and even text editors like VS Code and stuff, they're phenomenal. They give you all these choices, right? You don't really. This is syntax, right? Knowing to use a key in a dictionary is knowing the syntax, right? So if you type in skills, right, and then you do a print, you highlight the whole thing and you wrap it, and then you go to the home and type in print. So it should print your employee, right? Python SQL, these are the skills of this employee, right? So, okay. We know how to do that. And now, and look at that. It's a list. It's not a string. This is a string. If you have multiple numbers, right, like that, right, it's gonna whine unless you put it inside a list, right? And then your list access, your list access techniques come into play, right? So if you go to skills, but you want to get the SQL skills out, so what you would do is you put a square, and then if 0 will give you Python, right? And his other skill, his 1 will give you SQL, right? See that printed out, Python and SQL. You know, so it'd be like employee's skill is go, right? Okay. All right. Right. Done employee. So we got 2 nested lists and 1 nested dictionary with a nested dictionary with a nested list, right? So if you want to get to Frank, how do you get to Frank, right? So let's put a debugger here. Let's try and get to Frank, right? So let's do this. Let's go over here. So our goal is to print out the HR recruiter's name of the company, right? So print out HR recruiter, print out second, not first, but second HR recruiter's name is, we don't know. So it's gonna go right in there. The object is gonna go here. So obj1 is equal to whatever, right? It's gonna go right in there, right? And that's where the print statement's gonna be, what it is, right? So it's gonna be company, right? Is it engineering or HR? We're going into HR. So we're gonna go into HR. See, engineering HR. We're gonna go into HR. And inside HR, we're gonna go into what? Into recruiters. We're gonna go to recruiters, and then we're gonna index 1. And that should do it. I don't know why is this whiny computer. Oh, there's the F string missing. The F is missing, right? So that should take care of it. And the quotation should go in the back over here. Okay, so that's syntactically correct, right? So now you should get second recruiter's name should show up in the thing. And it says all sorts of problems over here, right? So we're gonna debug it up to here. So the debugger is going to have company in it. Okay, it's down here, so it has company. Let's go to debug console and type in company. That's the company, right? And we were saying that if you type in company engineer, no, HR, we get the HR recruiters. Now if we want to go here and we want to go into, oh, look at the mistake again. Before I even start to do this, I can tell what the mistake is. You see, this is a small r, so I have to actually put this exact key, otherwise the computer's going to be like, it's not going to find the key, right? So I need to fix that right there. The moment I fix that, it should be able to do that. So let me copy paste it here just to finish this, right? And I'm going to finish the lesson after this, or whatever, right? So then now we get the recruiters, and then we want to go to this first index, the second index, which is the first number, which is 0, 1, because Python you start at 0. There you go, Frank, right? So that should work. Like if we stop it, we fixed it, right? We fixed this recruiters from a small lowercase r to uppercase, right? So we can see what the problem was. If you put a lowercase r here, you have a typo, and you comment this, you're gonna get an error, right, in the terminal for running the file. That's running the, yeah, there you go. Well, just run it and give me the error, man. I'm at time anyways, but there you go. Recruiters, keyword error. It literally tells you what the key error is. It's like, hey, there's a key error, person, fix it, right? And if I fix it by just using the right variable, it runs. And it even prints out Frank. The second HR recruiter's name is Frank. Okay, so we've got nested dictionaries with other nested dictionaries, with lists, multiple lists, and dictionaries listed. We've covered all 3 of those different variations of nests. Okay, one thing I'm missing in data type. I think I might be missing. Okay, we're gonna do it anyways. We're gonna do sets because sets are unique, and I promise I'll be very quick about this with this. We're gonna give you a sample set and a print set, right? And that's it. Set with duplicates removed. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it, right? It was a parentheses, but it's a set because you have curly braces in dictionaries. Here, there's no key value pair. There's only a single element in it, right? And therefore, it's removed the duplicates. It's used only 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you type in if this thing, if you take it and you do print length of simple set, we give you the length of 4. There you go. Right? Sets come from set theory, right? So you can do A union B. You give 2 set values and you can literally pipe them into a union like that. There's no other way to append a set apart from this command, this pipe command, right? That's the union 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you put another 3 over here, mistakes. If you put all those 3s in there and then you do it, it'll again give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It drops duplicates, right? So its behavior is to drop duplicates, right? And you can do intersection and differentiation as well. So let me quickly get that on here too for you guys. So you can do the AND symbol and you can do the subtract symbol, right? To get the intersection and differentiation between them. So the intersection would be 3. 1 and 2 is not common, 3 is common, so 3 is common. So that's the intersection. And the differentiation is 1 and 2 in the first set, 3 is common, and 4 and 5 in the second set, right? So set A minus set B, why have they done this? All right, I will cover this in the next lesson and understand why this is funky. So differentiation, cover in day 7, and then move on to topic. Today's date is 4/25. Right, so when I come back online, the first thing I'm going to do is figure out the difference. Why the difference didn't work like I thought it was supposed to work. It's supposed to give you the difference between them is 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6, and then I don't know. It's a set too of data, so I need to figure out why. I mean, I can obviously debug the code, but understanding it there's a mathematical concept in here that needs to be analyzed. I'll do that. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys in the next lesson, which is probably going to be tomorrow. We're looking at day 7. And until then, thank you. Have a nice evening and see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.